Something from outside our solar system just entered our neighborhood. Not from a nearby planet, not from our asteroid belt, from interstellar space, from somewhere between the stars, and it is cutting through our solar system right now as you watch this. Astronomers detected it just this week. They're calling it 3I Atlas. And already based on the earliest data coming in, researchers around the world are scrambling to point every telescope they can at it. We've seen interstellar visitors before, twice, and each time they left us with more questions than answers. But this third one, this one is already raising alarms that the previous two never did. Understand why this is such a big deal, you need to appreciate just how extraordinary it is to catch one of these objects at all. Our solar system is an island. The nearest star to our sun, Proxima Centauri, is so far away that light takes over 4 years to reach it. The space in between is almost completely empty. The kind of emptiness that makes the word empty feel like an understatement. But when something crosses that void and wanders into our cosmic backyard, it is a physical piece of another star system, something born around a different sun, drifting through the cold darkness between stars for possibly billions of years. And now, for the first time in its existence, it is close enough for us to see. That is what 3I Atlas is. In the next few minutes, we're going to break down exactly what astronomers have found, why this object is generating so much urgent attention, and what it could reveal about the galaxy beyond our solar system. Let's start at the beginning of this story. What happened the first time we caught one in October 2017? Astronomers flagged something unusual cutting through our solar system. Objects that belong here, asteroids, comets, chunks of rock, move in predictable orbits bound by the sun's gravity. This object was not doing that. It was moving too fast on a path that only made sense if it had come from somewhere else entirely. Scientists named it Oumuamua, a Hawaiian term for something like first distant messenger. And then things got strange. It appeared to be elongated, roughly 10 times longer than it was wide, shaped unlike any natural object in our solar system. But the thing that really rattled the scientific community came as it was leaving. Oumuamua accelerated, not because of any gravitational force, not because of a collision. It just sped up, defying easy explanation. To this day, no completely satisfying answer exists. Some scientists suggest outgassing, pockets of ice turning to gas and acting like tiny rocket thrusters. Others have proposed something called a light sail, an object so thin and flat that pressure from sunlight itself could push it. That second idea sounds like science fiction, but the fact that credible researchers put it on the table tells you how genuinely baffling Oumuamua was. We barely had time to study it. It was already leaving when we found it, and within weeks it had vanished back into interstellar darkness. Every question it raised went with it. The second visitor and what it confirmed done in 2019 we caught another one. Borisov, the second interstellar object ever detected by humanity. Borisov looked more normal, a fuzzy, icy cometary body trailing gas and dust, behaving the way comets are supposed to behave. If Oumuamua was the anomaly, Borisov seemed to say, relax, the universe also contains ordinary things. But what Borisov really confirmed was something bigger. 2 interstellar objects in 2 years meant this was not a fluke. Our solar system, as it plows through the Milky Way at nearly 500,000 miles per hour, is regularly sweeping through debris from other star systems. We just hadn't had the instruments to detect them. It wasn't a question of if we'd find a third. It was a question of when. This week, the when arrived 3I Atlas, what we know right now. Atlas Survey System stands for Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System. Its job is to watch the sky continuously, night after night, scanning for anything that suddenly appears where nothing was before, fast-moving objects that could be threats or surprises, or in this case, something from another star system entirely. This week it caught 3I Atlas, the third interstellar object in recorded human history. The velocity alone was the first red flag. This object is moving fast enough and on a path curved just the right way to make its interstellar origin essentially certain. It did not come from our sun's gravitational family. It came from out there, from somewhere between the stars, and it is passing through on a one-way trip. It will not loop back. It will not become a regular visitor. Once it clears our solar system, it will disappear into the galaxy forever, which means the clock is already ticking. Astronomers have a narrow window to gather everything they can before 3I Atlas is gone. And this time, unlike with Oumuamua, we caught it early enough to really look. Why this one has RECRC genuinely unsettled has the part that shifts this from interesting to something deeper. When we detect an interstellar object, we are not just seeing a rock. We are seeing evidence of a process, a violent process. Objects do not escape star systems peacefully. For something to reach the kind of speed needed to leave its home star system and drift through interstellar space, something dramatic had to happen. A gravitational catapult from a massive planet, a near collision between worlds, a chaotic early solar system that flung material outward with enough force to escape the star's gravity entirely. Whatever sent 3I Atlas into the galaxy, it happened somewhere else around a different sun, possibly billions of years ago. And this object has been traveling ever since, through the freezing silence between stars, until this week, when a robotic telescope in the southern hemisphere caught its faint light and said, "There you are." But it gets stranger. The detection of a third interstellar visitor, arriving within less than a decade of the first two, tells us something important. Interstellar space is not as empty as we assumed. It is littered with this kind of debris. Countless objects from countless star systems drifting between the stars, occasionally threading through solar systems like ours. And that quiet realization is what has some scientists genuinely unsettled. Not because of any danger, 3I Atlas poses no threat to Earth whatsoever, but because of a question it forces us to ask: if physical objects can travel between star systems carrying material from one solar system to another, what could that material include? Rock and metal certainly, but also organic molecules, carbon compounds, the chemical ingredients that on Earth eventually gave rise to life. There's a hypothesis in science called panspermia, the idea that life, or at least the chemistry that produces it, could spread between star systems on objects exactly like these. Most scientists remain cautious, but every time we detect another interstellar visitor, it gets a little harder to dismiss entirely. Here's what I keep coming back to: we almost missed the first one. Oumuamua was already departing when we found it. We had weeks. No spacecraft could get anywhere near it in time. It slipped back into the dark, and everything we didn't understand about it went with it. Borisov we caught a bit earlier. Better data, more time to study, but still no mission. Still no close-up look at something that came from another star. Now we have 3I Atlas, the third, and each time one of these appears, our telescopes are more powerful, our sky survey systems more sensitive, and our response is faster. There are scientists running calculations right now, asking a question that would have sounded impossible just a decade ago. Is there any way to launch a mission fast enough to intercept this object? To actually send a probe to something that came from another star system and take a real physical measurement of something that was never born in our solar nubbust? Well, haven't done it yet, but the idea is no longer insane. And if not this one, then the fourth or the fifth, because there will be more. Something from another star is flying through our solar system right now. It has been traveling through the darkness between stars for a timespan that dwarfs all of human history. And this week, a robotic telescope in the southern hemisphere caught its faint light and said, "There you are. We don't know exactly what it's made of yet. We don't know which star system launched it. We don't know what it might carry or what it might tell us about worlds we will never be able to visit directly, but we know it's there. And we're watching. The universe has been sending these messengers for a very long time. We are only now learning how to see them. What do you think they're carrying?"